Hello everyone, welcome to GuacamoleCards. Got another video today. This one's a little different than what we've done in the past. Usually, this channel is all about hobby box reviews, helping you decide how to spend your hard-earned money on hobby boxes. Today we're going to get into a little bit more of the theoretical side of things and talk about expected value, or EV, as you've maybe heard me refer to it before. Um, Talk about what it is, how it's calculated, and most importantly, how you can use it in making better buying and ripping decisions when it comes to hobby boxes. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to refer to a few old videos, so I'll try to have a card up with a link to those videos throughout the video. And we're going to do a few basic examples, and then I'll show you at a high level how to find the data you need to be able to calculate EV and use it. So let's get started. So first of all, what is expected value? Expected value is the sum of all of the individual expected values within a product, whereas that an individual expected value is the product of the market value of a single card times the probability of you pulling that card. So value times probability equals your expected value. So like heads or tails, for example. If you have a $1 bet playing a game of heads or tails, you have a 50-50 chance of hitting heads or tails. So you have your expected value is 50 cents. If each time you get it right, you get $1, you have nothing at risk, your expected value is going to be 50 cents for each time you flip the coin. Because half the time you're going to be right, half the time you're going to be wrong. Now, keep in mind, expected value only works over a extended sample size where natural variance can work itself out. So obviously, if you flip a coin one time, you're not going to get 50 cents back. You're going to get 0 or you're going to get $1. 50 cents isn't an option. But if you flip a coin a million times, on average, you will get 50 cents per every coin flip. So let's apply that to trading cards and see how we can use it to our advantage. So I've prepared a few basic examples. The first one I want to go over is a theoretical product. We're going to call it 2016 Guacamole Select Prisms Chrome. There's one pack per box and only one card per pack. Only 100 boxes were produced, and there's only 2 cards in the entire population in terms of the different cards you could possibly pull. There's a Dak Prescott on card RPA that's worth $1,000 on the open market, but there's only one of them. And there's 99 Carson Wentz on card RPAs that are only worth $1. So you can see, right, we have the market value in. There's a population of 1. There's only one Dak Prescott card. There's 99 Carson Wentz cards. So we have a 1% chance of pulling the Dak, a 99% chance of pulling the Carson Wentz. We multiply the market value times the probability of pulling that card to get the expected value of each individual card. Now we know this, if you look at this cell here, there's a 100% chance that we're going to pull something. So that's what this signifies. There's a 100% chance we're going to get a card, but there's only a 1% chance it's going to be the card we want. However, in the long term, your expected value from each individual box that exists, there's 100, is $10.99. So we expect to pull $10.99 of value out of this box. So if this box were sold for $5, the recommendation that expected value would give you is that you should go out and buy every single box that exists. Because there's 100 boxes, you're going to spend $5 per box. You're going to spend $500, but you're going to have a 100% chance of getting the card that's worth $1,000. And you're also going to end up with 99 cards that are worth $1 as well. So, good news. You're going to make money in the long term. If the market price is over 10.99, that means you have a long-term losing or negative expected value, which means even if you opened every single box, you would expect to lose money. Now, if you hit the Dak Prescott on the third box you open, you're going to make money because you'll only have spent on three boxes. But if you have to open every single one, you'll lose money. Now, getting this data is not perfect and is very difficult, and a lot of it's very guarded and proprietary. So we don't necessarily have access to all this data, but we can make estimates, and that's good enough because at the end of the day, opening up hobby boxes, while it's not, like playing blackjack or roulette or betting on sports, it's still gambling. You don't know what you're going to get, and you oftentimes will extract value out of a box that is less than what you paid for the box. So this is a very basic example. Should be pretty straightforward, right? What happens if it gets a little more complicated? So here's an example. Same product, but now total production is 1,000 boxes. But there's 5 different cards you can pull. There's a Dak. Let's pretend all of these are on-card RPAs. So there's a Dak, a Wentz, a Goff, a Paxton Lynch, and a Cardale Jones. All from the 2016 draft class. You can see the different market values for each. You can see the population of each, the probabilities, and how that comes out to expected value. So because there's a 100% chance you're going to get something, the expected value is the sum of the individual expected values for each card. So our expected value from this box is $38.39 because there is a 41% chance we pull a card that is worth either 1,000, that is worth 50, or is worth $89. But there's a nearly 60% chance we pull a card that's only worth $1. So that's the gamble. $38.39. Now you see here I have standard deviation on the bottom. Without getting into a lesson on statistics, standard deviation is a measure of the variability. So one standard deviation means that on 66% of the outcomes are going to be within this range. An example like this, all you need to know is the higher the standard deviation, the higher the risk. So remember, 3839's expected value of this set, standard deviation is 387. That's all you need to know. Let's go to another example. This is the exact same cards in the exact same set, except I've changed the market values. So now the Dak's only worth $199, Wentz is worth $99, Goff $59, Paxton Lynch you still get $5, Cardale Jones you still get $11. Expected value is still roughly the same, $38.31. It was $38.39 on our first example, but now it's $38.31. But look, standard deviation is significantly lower. And that should make sense, right? Because the range of outcomes, you're either going to get a card that's worth $5 or is worth $199. So you're at least going to get $5 back on your return here. You have a really good chance, a 70% chance of getting $11 or more return for the box. So your risk is a lot lower. Standard deviation is a lot lower. Now, does that mean you should automatically look for low standard deviation? No, because standard deviation is a measure of the risk, and the higher the number, the more risk. But also remember, risk and reward go hand in hand. So I can set this up to have a standard deviation of 0, but look at what that looks like. Expected value is $38.39 because every card is worth $38.39. It doesn't matter what you pull. You're going to get $38.39. You should be willing to pay $38.39 for that box because you have a 100% chance of getting that back. Your expected value is the sum of the probability of each of these cards times the value of those cards. But who wants to buy this, right? Unless you're just a collector, right? Like, hey, I just love these players and I want to have their cards. And this is a risk-free way to do it. So standard deviation of 0 implies no risk, but also means there's no return. So that's just some quick examples of theoretical expected value. So now that we know this, what does that mean? What does expected value really mean? Okay, I get it, right? That tells us how much we expect to get back from any given box that we open. But how do we use that? Well, a couple of things. One, because we don't always know all this information, we make the assumption that the market is very efficient and will price sealed wax at the expected value, the inherent expected value. Because the market is consistently pricing all of the cards within the set, and inherently the cost of the box is equal to the expected value. So as cards in a set go up, the sealed wax of the same set increases with it. So we make that assumption. However, there are instances where we are able to get a more accurate calculation of expected value, and we can compare that to the sales price of a box and decide if that box is worth purchasing, if the price of the box is at least equal or less than the expected value of the box. If expected value is higher, or if the market price is higher than the expected value, you need to take caution when buying that box. And this really came into play. I'll show you here. This really came into play when I opened up Immaculate College Football. And I'll have a link to this review. I ended up hitting expected value, or hitting value by getting one in particular big hit, but I kind of felt, and it was written into my review, kind of felt that Immaculate didn't really offer the potential to hit EV or to hit value for EV to be worth the cost of the box. So what I'm trying to say is you didn't hit value relative to the price because the expected value is less than the price. So it's a little confusing, but that's what that means. So how can we come up with these numbers, right? Like market value, that's kind of easy. The quickest, easiest way, sorry, I'm just kind of flipping through some stuff. Go over here, go to eBay. Let's do Dak Prescott Silver Prism PSA 10. You can scroll down, sold items. You can look at what some recent items have sold for, and you can come up with an average estimate of market value, right? Really quick and easy to do this. There are other tools out there. I use Sports Card Investor Market Movers tool, where I can go in and you see I have some stuff saved here. So, well, without searching for it, let's just look at a 2016 field level silver PSA 9. So this is a really nice tool. Oh, well, that didn't work. All right, let's try something different. Let's look at Prism Silver PSA 10. So look, this is another way of just taking a look, right, of how the market value of this card changes over time. So I'll link Sports Card Investor, this tool, down in the description, and you can decide for yourself if this is something that you would want to invest in. I highly recommend it. So once we have that, we can begin to put in our market values. Population's a little tougher. but there are ways to get it. So if you go to Panini's website, you go to releases, it brings you to this page. You can select what you want, hit download full checklist, and it'll download here. I actually already have this downloaded. And the reason I like to use collegiate as an example is every single card is numbered. So if we take a look, I don't know if you see this down here, but it's some, Excel. I'm not going to give you an Excel lesson, but Excel sums everything up for you. There are 59,800 cards produced. So 59,800. We know there are 7 cards per box. Divide by 7. So there is 8,500 boxes that were produced of this product, assuming every card actually went out into circulation, which we just assume it does. But it's a rough estimate, but it's pretty accurate. I can also tell you, if I can go in here. So this is the cards that exist for every single individual player. But let's say we're specifically just looking for autographs. And actually, I've already filtered this. So this is just autographs that exist in this set. So let's say we're specifically looking for Joe Burrow. There are 889 cards in Immaculate Collegiate that have Joe Burrow's autograph on them. And there are 684 that only have Joe Burrow's autograph, that aren't, a multiple auto card. So 684 Joe Burrow autographs. So there's 684 cards, there's 8,500 boxes. You can do some math and figure out your probability of hitting one of those cards as one of your hits. So that's how we fill in population here. Now some products, let me show you origins. Some products have almost all numbered cards, except there are unnumbered base cards. Here, I'll show you everything that's not numbered. So there are unnumbered base cards. There are unnumbered origin stories. There are unnumbered rookie autographs. There are unnumbered rookie patch autographs. That makes our calculus a little bit difficult, but we can still make some estimates to help guide us in this case. So that's expected value. That's how you can roughly calculate it, and that's how you can use it when deciding to rip boxes, to hold boxes, to pass on a box, etc. So hopefully that provided you with a little bit of information. This was super high level, super basic, on purpose, right? Because we're just introducing this topic. So in the description, I'm going to have a link to a blog post talking about box tiers, but really dives into expected value a little bit more. I'll have a link to Sports Card Investor Market Movers tool. And please, if you have any questions or comments, or want to know how you can make a more complex model, just throw it in the comments below, and I'll try to help as best as I can. So that's it for this theoretical segment. Every few weeks I'll try to pump out one of these type of videos in addition to the hobby box reviews, and I hope you enjoy them. So until then, we will see you next time. Happy ripping.